Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mental Health Awareness Week. That's right. This week, it's all about mental health, but it's also about how you think. Because to be honest with you, if we're going to accept mental health as a massive condition that people have and they need to be supported with, then we also need to take into account that the way you think can lead to much of that mental health. And what I want to talk about this week is some examples of how I got through certain aspects of my life, particularly when I was going down that route of like real mental health issues, and how I came out of it on the other side. But what I'm also going to do this week is I'm going to throw the questions out to you guys, because honestly, I'd love you to come back with some questions, because we all suffer from something. We do. It's natural. It's humans. We're human beings. It happens. But what I'm trying to focus on this week is how you focus your mind to create your future. Okay? And I'm going to give you I'm going to go straight into it right now with a prime example of why and how I had OCD, and I managed to a massive degree to come out of it very, very powerfully on the other side, where I don't really suffer from OCD as much as I used to. And I'll give you the example immediately. It all goes back, by the way, to an actual moment in my life. And that's what I want to tap on with you guys today, so you can understand why I understood what I had and what I needed to do to get out of it. I was 15 years old, 15 or 16, and we had gone on holiday, and we had come back from the Middle East, and my dad hadn't come with us. He had stayed home to carry on working. And when we got back after, I think it was 3 weeks, my dad picked up all three of us from the airport. And as he was going home, I sensed an energy, just a pure energy of negativity in him. And I just didn't understand it. I didn't understand why he was so negative. He hadn't seen us for 3 weeks. You hope your dad misses you. But there was an air of negativity around him. And we finally got it out of him near when we got to home, that we'd been burgled literally 24 hours ago. And the situation was that my dad didn't want to upset any of us coming home. But at the same time, he was finding it very difficult not to tell us. And when I picked up on that energy, by the time we kind of coaxed him out of telling us what was going on, he basically said, look, this is what's happened. Please don't panic. And not much has been stolen and this and that, whatever. Anyway, cut long story short, we walked into the house, and my dad said they've broken through the back window, and there's been a break-in, and this has happened, that's happened. So my mum looked around the house, and there was nothing that had been stolen. Okay? Now let me just say that again. My dad said there had been stuff that was stolen, but my mum looked around the house and she said not one thing's been stolen. And my dad said, but I believe there's 2 bottles of whiskey missing from our cabinet. And my mum looked and said, okay, yeah, I'm with you on that. There's 2 things missing, but everything else is here. He said, well, what do you mean? Because he hadn't even checked upstairs. This had happened so quickly that by the time he'd kind of instigated the police and called them up and this and that, whatever, and then he'd gone to work. So he didn't really, I mean, my dad was one of these guys that he was a workaholic. So even though the house got burgled, he called the police, told them about it, and then left and came to work. So when we looked around the house, my sister's bedroom, there was a pillowcase and all her jewelry and everything was in it. Money, jewelry, whatever she had. My dad's bedroom, there was a pillowcase with all the money he had saved, all the 20p's he used to save. And on my mum's side, there was another pillowcase, and which was obviously open up, and empty, and all my mum's jewellery, rings, diamonds, everything was in it. Nothing in my bedroom had been touched. Not sure why, but obviously nothing worth stealing in my room. The brand new video player that we had been pulled out, unplugged, wrapped, and ready to go. So they'd prepared to take quite a lot of stuff, but they took nothing. And they left. And of course, when the police came over and said, what's been got, what's been taken? 2 bottles of whiskey. So my dad was like, doesn't matter, we'll just, sort the window out and we'll go back to normal. We'll maybe put a house alarm in next time. So that was what happened. Now, that affected me. First and foremost, because there was someone in the house. And someone had gone through the house. So that affects any child, no matter how old you are, or an adult, of course, but that affected me. Now, the fact that I'd already gone through a trauma at the age of 5, where, not to bore you with it, but where a lady who became my godparent one night came to visit my mum and dad in the house, in the previous house we used to have, the flat. And it would have been about 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening, and I was crying in my cot. And they just arrived. And my mum said, I'm just going to deal with Kev. And she said, no, don't do that. She said, I'll deal with it. And my mum at the time was very naive and quite a shy lady amongst people. She didn't want to upset anyone. So my godparent mother, whatever you want to call her, knocked on my door, my bedroom door, 3 times and said, the snake is going to get you if you don't keep quiet. What does that do to a child? And it screwed me. So to the point where I then spent the next 20 years sleeping with a light on in the bedroom. Whether it was a small lamp, or whether it was the corridor light with my door open, I had to sleep with a light on. So when this trauma happened, this burglary, that added to my trauma. And what happened was I began to go to a negative place. And the place I went to was, hold on a minute, this could happen again. And if it happens next time, what am I going to do? I need to put like a baseball bat in my room, or a cricket bat. I need to make sure mum and dad hear what's going on. So maybe we should sleep with the window open. But then, no, we shouldn't sleep with the window open because the burglar can come through and then I won't hear him and this and that. And I went through a lot of negativity. And that then created, for me, OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. And how it created it was the following morning, as I walked out the door to go to school, I used to lock the door behind me. And the reason I did that was because my mum would probably still be in bed when I left to go to school. And I'd walk to school and my sister came with me. So we'd leave together. And then basically I'd lock the door and go. And there were other times where if I walk out the house, just lock it. But what happened with that was every time I locked it, I did the special 3 things that OCDs do, where they go check once, check twice, check 3 times. And I carried on doing that. But that became a massive, massive obsessive habit of mine. It really did. And that went on for a good, I would say, 10 years. No, even more, 12. And it became really, really scary for me. Really scary. Because I couldn't walk away from my car without checking it 3 times. 2, 3. I couldn't walk out the house without checking the door 3 times. I couldn't do things without checking 3 times. And I'll tell you what, how bad it got. I would lock the door, check it once, check it twice, check it 3 times, and then I'd walk away. I could be gone for 5 minutes up the road and I'd have to run back because my brain said, you haven't locked the door. You haven't locked the door. You checked it, but you didn't check it properly. So I'd run all the way back and I'd put the key in and I'd check the door again. And I'd do that 3 times. And there would be times when that would be repeated 3 or 4 times. And it got really bad, to the point where I'd be in my car, I'd get out my car, I'd lock the door, check it, and then go around checking all 4 doors. And then the boot. Then I'd open the door, get in, then get out and do it again and repeat the same process. So what changed for me? Very simple. If you want to change something in your life, you have to change your mind. Okay? It's as simple as that. Okay? You have to change your mind. Because a habit can only be changed if you break the habit. Okay? So how did I change that? I'm not joking. It was simpler than you think. Genuinely simpler than you think. One of the things I did was I changed my attitude towards what had happened. Okay? One, with the trauma as a child. Two, with the trauma as a teenager. I changed my mind. I started thinking, why didn't those thieves, when they came to our house, take any of the jewelry, any of the money, the video player that my mum and dad couldn't afford? They won it in a competition, believe it or not. Why did they not take any of that? What happened? I don't get it. What happened? I started thinking that. Why didn't they take it? Then I started thinking, actually, why am I scared of this happening to me? If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Okay? If my house is gonna be burgled, then it's gonna happen because I can't control other people. I can only control my own mind. Okay? Own mind. No one else's. So if I can control my mind, then I can control how I feel about that situation, the emotions behind that feeling. And ultimately, the crux of what I have gone through, I don't need to go through anymore. So I'm sitting in my car and I thought to myself, I'm going to drive my car and I'm going to go to a random location and I'm just going to stop, get out the car, lock the car and walk away. And if no one takes my car in 15 minutes when I come back to it, then I've achieved something. And that's exactly what I did. I went to a location, a few miles up the road, got out my car, locked it and walked away. I didn't check it 3 times. I didn't check the doors. I didn't check anything. I walked away and I came back. It was actually probably about 20, 25 minutes later and the car was still. So I got back in my car, realized it was locked because I checked it. I opened the car door and I walked in. I did that for a week. And I realized it took 7 days for me to change my attitude where I don't need to check the car anymore. I then did the same thing to my home with my parents. I thought, if I can do it now, I won't have to do it for the rest of my life. So I did. I walked out the door and I said to my mum, I'm not locking the door. She said, why are you locking the door anyway? I said, go. Okay. So I walked and I went. I went to school, came back, everything was fine. Did that again and again and again, and it was fine. What controlled my mind was not any emotions from the past. Because if that was the case, I would be still doing what I'm doing, where I'd still be checking the cars, still be checking the house, and still be doing things 3 times because I have to. I didn't want to do that anymore. I recognized my situation and I decided in my head I was going to change. Okay? That's the first step. You must decide you're going to change. If you don't decide, you're never going to make it. Okay? You're never going to make it. Because no one on this God-given earth is going to change your mind. Okay? Only you can change your mind. That is a categorical fact. Okay? For years and years and years, I used to tell my mum, please, mum, please don't smoke. Mum, please don't smoke. You're going to kill us. We're passive smokers. Because of you, we're going to die. And my mum used to take all those stories and, oh, she used to get sad. I know, I should stop, and this now. Do you know what made her stop? Not me, not my mum. Sorry, not me, not my sister, not my dad. One morning she got up. My mum's very religious lady. She got up one morning. She put a hand on the Bible in front of me and my sister at breakfast before we went to school. And she said, I'm never, ever going to put another cigarette in my mouth. And we both went, yeah, whatever. Because she was a smoker. She'd 2 or 3 packets a day sometimes. I believe she did 2 packets a day. Never going to smoke again. And I can't tell you the impact that had on me years later. Because that woman, on that day, never put another cigarette in her mouth. How did she do it? How did she suddenly decide it was never going to happen again? To me, that is a decision she made in herself that she was never going to do it again. That's what I did with my OCD. I'm not going to suffer from it anymore because I'm in control of myself, not the voices in my head, not you out there telling me, oh yeah, stop, or oh, don't do that, that's really weird, or no, are you still doing that? None of those matter. It's what was in me that counted. Okay, so now I want to share that with you because it is Mental Health Awareness Week. Okay, so share some of your stories with me. Tell me some stuff that you guys have been going through, stuff that we can talk about together. Because truthfully, once you start talking about what you suffer with, trust me, thousands and thousands of people are probably suffering from the same. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to share with you today. I suffered from OCD. I'll tell you something else. My wife, actually, my wife Michelle, said to me when we first got together, okay, and we were living together, she opened the kitchen cabinet doors, right? Everything in the cabinet, okay, all the jars, the baked beans, the sweet corn, the ketchup, whatever was in the cupboard was either facing forward with the instructions, showing me what I had, and was in order. Okay, all the olive oils, all the all the salt and peppers and everything in order, and immaculate. Okay, now I'm still that person, by the way. I'm still very immaculate. I clean everything. I'm really I'm one of those people that's very pristine. I like things to be clean and tidy. I need to know where everything is, because when my mind is comfortable with the outside world, then my inside world is much more creative. When my outside world, I'll repeat that, when my outside world is neat and tidy and comfortable, then my inside world is creative, because I don't worry about what's on the outside anymore. Okay, that is really important to me. And my wife looked at me and went, oh my God, your cupboards, every single jar is the right way around. What the hell? And she turned around, and I'll never forget, she said, I think, she said, this is like you are from the Sleeping with the Enemy movie with Julia Roberts, because he used to do that with the cupboard, you know, all that. And I said, well, no, I'm just OCD with certain aspects of my life. By then, I'd given up on the old 333. I'd given up on all that, but there were still aspects of my life. Now, I like cupboards to be neat and tidy. You know, I clean regularly when I have to, you know, just to make sure everything's done and dusted. Most of the time, my wife does it, but you know, times like now when she's only just got back from hospital and she's lying in a bed, she can't do anything. I do it all. So there's things that I still do and I enjoy doing. Okay, but I have to be in control of my mind, and you have to be the same. You have to be, because if you're not, that's where mental health, okay, and the voices and the awareness of other people telling you what you shouldn't do or what you should do, and this and that, becomes a trauma in your life. Okay, and I've got friends now, okay, that I speak to. One guy, I'm not going to name him, and you know, if he's watching this program, or soon, you know, he'll watch this one day, he'll understand and he'll know it's him I'm talking about. But he was the most wonderful human being, still is, and I knew him since I was 5 or 6. A great human being. I won't give too much away, but this guy has become a recluse. He can't leave his home. He's very negative about a lot of stuff. He worries. He has anxiety. He's truly in prison with his own mind. And I text him and speak to him on and off as much as I can without, you know, bombarding him, because, yeah, being as positive as I am, that can be quite detrimental to a lot of people who are suffering. because I don't see any issues in changing your mind. I just don't see any issues. I don't. I think if you put your mind to it, you'll do it. It's as simple as that. I don't compromise on my life. If I want to change something, I will do it. Simple as that. And I keep telling him that he has the chance to do the same thing. And he doesn't see it. He says, no, Kevin, I can't. He said, I have to stay here. I have to be at home. The world doesn't want to know me. The world doesn't care about me. He said, I'm a burden to people. I need to disappear. I need to be away from it. And I can't, that burns me inside, because if I was just to hold his hand and say, look, let me take you for one day, let me take you and just show you the light for one day, perhaps every day then, for 5 minutes, we could do the same thing again. And within weeks, we could change your life. But you've got to be patient with people. You know, not everyone has the ability to do it quickly. I did, and I'm very blessed to have done it very quickly. But there's a lot of people that haven't. So let's take a question. Oh, Cherry. Hi, Cherry. I suffer from agoraphobia. Since had arson attack at my home. Wow. Victim support helped me enormously. Had to put on a Christmas singing reindeer to calm my breathing before I could open the front door. Sadly, I still have what I call videotape in my head, but breathing is a lot more in control. Wow, Cherry. That's really, really honest, actually. And I will tell you, it's everyone does it their own way. Everyone. Okay. We can all have people guide us and show us a way to move forward, but ultimately, you know, you've got to be strong within your mind, your head, to be able to make that change. And there will come a time when you've got to stop thinking about the past, because you can't let the past control you, because if it does, then you'll recollect those emotions in your body, because the past has already experienced it. Your emotions have experienced the past. So unless you make a change within you and your mind, you can only tap in to what you already know. Okay? So you've got to make a change. And without that change, you will never, ever be able to move forward in your life and create a future where you never, ever have agoraphobia. You never, ever have OCD. You never have anything that's going to hold you back from your habits. Simple. Okay? Simple as that. And I will say the same thing happened to me again with my bullying, because bullying has become a lot more serious these days than it was when I was a kid. Because at least when I was a kid, you had a fight, you knew where you stood. Okay? Yeah, I got bullied a lot, but I knew where I stood with bullies. I knew where I stood. Nowadays, a lot more of it's online, and it's dangerous, really dangerous. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of comedians talk about, being bullied and cyberbullying and this, that, whatever. And one comic even said, if you want to stop being cyberbullied, just switch off your computer. Okay, that's real. That can happen. You should do, but people are not strong enough. People are not strong enough. Okay, so you will always go back to the internet. You will always go back to your iPhone or your Android phone, and you will always check, because curiosity gets the best of you. And then as soon as it gets the best of you, and why does it get the best of you? Because you're used to doing it in the past. I'm going to get online, but I know the bully's going to be there, and he's going to send me a message, and the message is going to be really horrible, and I'm going to get bullied. I'm going to feel really, really bad, and then I'm going to get anxiety, and I'm going to get depression, and then I'm going to get really, really bad. And then what I might do, I might even hurt myself, or I might just eat. I might just start eating more, or I might just start drinking more, or do you know what? I'm not even going to tell my family. Oh, I'm going to recluse myself. I'm not going to come out of the bedroom for 2 days. That's what happens in my head. That's what happens in my head. But here's a change. Here's an idea. I'm being cyberbullied. Okay. How do I stop the cyberbullying? Because I can't control him or her. Can't control them. They're going to do what they're going to do. Okay? Simple. They're going to do what they're going to do. You can't control them, but what you can do is control you. So how do you do that? Simple. Delete. Close. Stop. Move on to something better. Get a book. Read a book. Go out and walk. Breathe. Cherry Hitchens just said it. Breathe. Okay? Do something that's gonna change your life for the better. Because I'll tell you right now, and I promise you, once you stop giving ammunition and energy and your time and ultimately your focus to that bully will move on to someone else. Okay? Because they will give up, because they're not getting anything back. Their power is diminishing. It's diminishing. They're not feeling like they are hurting you anymore. Now, I had this recently on Twitter. I kind of went back to this particular individual 3 or 4 times, you know, trying to explain myself and my tweet that I'd done, which was a very innocent tweet. And I was talking about this celebrity who came on and was, you know, saying it was this and that and whatever, and you know, if you want to do this and whatever. And I just said, I think that'd be a great idea, and hopefully you'll raise quite a lot of money for the NHS. But tweet came back to me saying, no, the celebrity's doing it to earn money, and they need to earn money because they don't have any money at the moment and they're struggling. So actually what you're doing is bullying them. And I said, I'm not bullying them. I'm trying to help them by saying, if you are going to donate to the NHS, I think that's also a great thing. Well, this went on and it got worse and worse. And the guy actually said to me, I am now going to troll you for the rest of your life. This, I'm only going back 5-6 weeks ago. I'm going to troll you for the rest of your life. And I said, okay. That was it. Okay. Then went into Twitter, block. Simple. Okay? Block. Never heard from that guy again. Good luck to him. Good luck to him. It's as simple as that. I don't need that stress. The same you can do with Facebook. The same you can do with Instagram. You can do it with all the social platforms. Okay? It's different with school. Okay? Although there are platforms like Facebook and whatever on, you know, for schools. And it is different because you might get bullied online, and then when you go to school, you get bullied again. Those things are very difficult to face and deal with. But ultimately, you've got to remember bullying is a form of an expression hidden by the person trying to attack you. Okay? Let me rephrase that again. This is someone that wants to hurt people or bully people because they are being hurt or feeling lonely, or they just don't want to be on their own with the traumas they're going through. Okay? And a lot of the times you'll find that these kids or these teenagers or even adults in offices are usually getting the same treatment themselves somewhere else. Okay? So it's a fear tactic, and it's a way of covering themselves and obviously hurting you and other people. So if you don't let negativity hurt you, then only positivity will win. And there is a very old African saying that goes, if you don't have enemies within, then the enemies outside can do you no harm. And that is a wonderful saying, okay? Because it's absolutely true. If you don't have anything inside you, if you can just be positive about your own life, no one else outside of you can hurt you. It's as truly as that. Any other questions? You know, if you want to send something across, let me know. But I do know that with life in general, focusing your mind can be a very difficult aspect. It really can. And it's a challenge, okay? It's like training. Like learning the piano for me, I'm still learning, okay? I've been playing for 43 years. I'm still learning to play the piano, okay? Because I enjoy it so much. I learn different things. You're always learning. You're always training, okay? Muscle memory. It's the same with focusing your mind. It's very difficult. But if you can do 5 or 10 minutes a day, every day, on focusing on something positive, it truly, truly works. Now, I keep talking about this, and I'm going to keep repeating myself in episodes about certain things that I do. One of the things that I do is the slideshow. I do a slideshow on my phone, okay? This is a number of pictures that I have put together on things that I want to achieve. It's like your own little vision board, okay? But I put it together on things that I want to achieve. And before I go to bed, or during the day, I might play it a couple of times, just so I reaffirm my brain on what I shouldn't forget. It's the same with breathing, which I've told you about. Every morning when I walk my dog, Poppy, and I breathe 15 times, very deep breaths, fill those lungs, and I breathe out all that negativity that I might have. Okay, that's things like, I don't feel tired anymore. I feel great. I'm going to work. It's going to be great today. And at the moment, I have doubled or tripled my positivity because I have a beautiful wife at home with a very, very sore ankle. Well, a broken one, but now a repaired one. But she's at home and she's going through pain. She doesn't need to go through that pain any more than she's already doing. So her mind will automatically go to negativity. It will, because she's in pain. And it's very difficult to come out of that negativity into positivity when you're being hurt, okay? But there are ways of coming out of it. One of them is to focus on good things during the day. So today, give you an example, she woke up and she was a little bit achy, but she was in quite good spirits. So I got up, we gave her a medication, and I made breakfast. And we had breakfast, and that was great. She enjoyed that. And then she went back to sleep for a little bit. And then the physio arrived, and she went through pain, okay? But all the time, we were keeping the positivity going. Hun, you're doing great. My God, that is so good what you've done so far. Even the nurses who had arrived were saying, you're in such a better place than we thought you would be after coming out of hospital. Now that's a massive, massive, what's the compliment from my wife? Massive compliment. But you're in a good place, they said. You're in a good place. And I built that place with my family. We built this downstairs bedroom for her with television, with a bed and everything. And we made it comfortable for her. So when she came back, she didn't have to stress out. The house is immaculate. She didn't have to stress out. The boys, my twin 6-year-olds, are absolute angels at the moment because they know mummy's hurting. And they know if they fight with each other or if they do anything, she's going to stress out. They've been amazing. Then at lunchtime, I cook a lovely dinner, lovely lunch, and get everyone together. And I wheel her out so she can sit down and have lunch looking at the garden. Another thing that my mother-in-law has made look like Kew Gardens. Everything is about positivity. So she sits there and looks at the garden. She goes, oh my God, this is beautiful. Now she's positive again. She's in pain, but she's positive. Okay? Then we have dinner in the evening. Again, she's had a rest. She's come up. But I'm constantly saying, hun, you're looking great. You're beautiful. And she is beautiful. She's my baby. But you're beautiful. You're going to get through this quicker than you think. It's going to be great. And in no time at all, you're going to be back on the feet. And I think by generating that kind of positivity with my twin boys, my mother-in-law and me, who were all in the house together, it gives my wife every single drop of positivity she needs to get rid of the negativity in her head. And I think that's very important, especially this week with Mental Health Awareness Week, because a lot of it is down to people who are lonely, people who are on their own, don't know how to come out of something hard, and it's also down to the fact that a lot of people don't have the guidance in their head. Their brain doesn't know how to get out of a situation. And what happens is, and I see it so often, they get more and more and more in prison. And they disappear. And nothing you say can get them out of that. And it's very difficult, very difficult. And the only way you can do it is by, first of all, believing in yourself. That's a hard thing to do. You've got to love yourself. If you don't love you, how can you expect anyone else to love you? How? Because if you don't love you, no one else can love you. You've got to love yourself first. You've got to trust yourself. Because if you don't trust yourself, like I just said, no one else can trust you. It's really important that it starts with you and ends with you. Okay? If it starts and ends with you, then you can change the world. I mean, there are kids out there that are born into abusive families. They're bullied, they're hurt, they go through hell. But then they come out the other side and they're motivational speakers. They're CEOs of big businesses. They're priests and they're presidents or they're MPs. You know, everyone can change their life if they change their mind. And that is the key. I truly believe is how you get out of a situation with your mind. Okay? Cherry Hitchens again. Concentrate on breathing when you have anxiety, and after you have made a herbal tea and listen to music, notice the difference. This is what helps me too. Do you know what? I quit coffee and tea and predominantly alcohol. Every alcohol except red wine. I mean, let's face it, even Jesus did that. But red wine. But I don't drink any alcohol, coffee or tea. I don't. And I quit 4 years ago. I said to my wife one day, I'm never going to drink again. She went, you what? I said, I'm never going to drink again. I said, it's affecting me with my health. It's affecting my sleep pattern because I'm drinking so much coffee, my brain's hurting, and I'm awake at 3 o'clock in the morning. Just can't do it. Just can't do it anymore. And she says, what are you going to do? I said, I'm quitting. You what? I'm quitting. I'm never going to drink again. And she was like, okay. Thinking, would I or wouldn't I? And it's been 4 years. The day I said I was going to quit, I quit. I've not put one coffee, I've never drank one coffee, one tea, or put any alcohol in my mouth, apart from red wine, which I enjoy doing, and I drink maybe 2 or 3 glasses a week. Why did I do that? Because I made a change in my mind. Simple. And I always have to, I'm trying to be as passionate as I can with you without making it too kind of jokey. I'm truly telling you, I changed my mind, and that changed my life. I lost weight, my health began to get better, my sleep began to get better. I was able to then go to bed at 10 o'clock and wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay, I don't drink coffee, tea, nothing. Okay, for me, that's really important. Because if I can change my mind, you can change yours, because I'm no different to you. I'm not, I'm the same as you. We're all human beings. We all have the same brain, okay? Some of us use it better than others, but we all have the same brain. What makes a change in your life is what you do. Breathing, of course, like Cherry said. Drinking herbal tea. I drink green teas, herbal teas. I don't drink, normal tea. I don't drink normal tea or coffee, but I drink herbal teas. And I drink them, but I make my own. And I think, during the lockdown, some of you might have seen the video I did on Facebook about the Raise Your Immune, which is RYI 100%, is what I've called the drink. And it's basically that drink that I showed you on the video about 6-7 weeks ago with, garlic, ginger, honey, apple cider vinegar, hot water, and lemon. And I tell you, you have to do that if you can. And if you feel really low in health and your immune system feels a bit weak, drink it. Drink it. Within days, you will be singing like Catherine Jenkins, La! And you will be as healthy as you can. Why? Because it's natural remedy. It's a natural remedy. Don't go straight to aspirin or ibuprofen, I can't even say it, or Nurofen, or any of those tablets. Don't turn to tablets. We are born with an immune system in our body that is better than any medicine created, because we are born with a magical immune system. I mean, just take history as an example. Did they have any kind of, tablets or medicine or, anything like that in the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th centuries, or even before? Did they? I don't know. But I do know that the more healthier you are within yourself and how healthy you think, your immune system becomes better. It does. If you wake up every morning, and this is a fact, by the way, this is in some of the books I've read. I've got so many of these books, like these kind of books that I read, like Think and Grow Rich, by Napoleon Hill, genius man. I've got loads and loads of books here, loads of books that I'm going to talk about in other motivational talks. But in some of the books I've read, this woman keeps coming up. She was a woman from Cyprus, and she kept saying to herself, and this is what I'm talking about when it says, when I say about, if you think it and believe it, it will happen. Think it, believe it, it will happen. Okay? Visualize it, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And this woman every day will turn around and go, oh, God, you're going to give me a heart attack. Oh, God, I'm going to have a heart attack one day because of you. Oh, if you don't do that again, oh, I'm going to have a heart attack. If you do that again, I'm going to have a heart attack. 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 She had a heart attack. She died. And her dream came true. Okay? There are people out there that go, God, you're going to give me cancer. You are. You're going to give me cancer. It's like a saying. I mean, Jesus Christ, who would come up with a saying like that? You're going to give me cancer. And in the book I read, she got cancer. So if it works for negativity, then it must work for positivity. God, I'm going to have the healthiest body because of you. God, I'm going to live till I'm 130. Oh, God. Do you know what? I'm going to have the most healthiest skin by the time I'm 90. I'm not even going to look 90. I'm going to look 50. God, whoever talks like that? Do you? Do you? I do. I don't talk to anyone else about it, but I talk to myself about it. I'm going to live till I'm 100. I keep saying it, 103 to be precise. That's what I say in my head. I'm going to live to 103. Why? Because I want to see a world that I know I'm going to create in my mind. That's going to be amazing. I'm going to have so much going for me. I'm going to do so many things. I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to be healthy. That's what I keep saying to myself every day when I'm walking. Every day, I'm going to be healthy. And that's what it's all about. Any questions? Or shall I carry on? Oh, we have another question. Hello, Kev. How are you? Have you heard of the phrase, every cloud has a silver lining? Yes, I have, darling. We use that in our house. It keeps us going. It is a positive thing to keep us going in lockdown. You know what, Debbie? Lockdown has challenged everyone. Okay? Including dogs and cats, by the way. Let's give you the heads up. My dog, after the fourth walk, the eyes speak a million words. The dog's like, no, we're not going anywhere. And that's what it's all about. Everything and everywhere has been affected by this lockdown. Everyone. Okay? So how do you stay positive? You've got that many avenues to stay positive. I can't even begin. I can't even begin to tell you how positive your life really is right now. Okay? Because like my neighbors said the other day, which I will repeat again, I said, how are you in this lockdown? Are you okay? He's 91 or 92, she's 88. Are you okay? She said, my darling, she said, we're in lockdown because of a virus called COVID-19. We're not in lockdown because there are bombs falling on our houses. If that ain't positive, then I don't know what is. I don't know what is. There are no bombs falling on our houses. She said the lockdown has only been going weeks. We were in lockdown for years. Again, she's looking at the positivity. Hey, if she can do it, we can all do it. Every one of us. Sayings are good. Talking to people are good. Connecting with people like I am with you guys now. I'm blessed that so many of you on, watching and saying hi and sharing your stories with me. But it is important. It is important that we constantly update our minds with positivity. Because if you don't, what happens? Negativity kicks in. Simple as that. And it doesn't need an excuse. It doesn't need an excuse. Here's a scenario for you. Wake up in the morning. I'm going to have an amazing day. It's going to be brilliant. I'm going to have an amazing day. 2 things are going to be great for me today. Don't know what they are, but please send them to me. Send me them. They're going to be great for me today. Then you go downstairs and you make yourself a nice cup of green tea. Wolf it down. then a nice little bit of breakfast. Grab your keys, grab your bag, you're about to leave. Darling, I'll see you later. Mwah, mwah. Love you. Boys, have a good day at school. Great. I'm telling you a scenario that's happened to me. And I'm really positive I'm going to do 2 things today in my office. That's going to be great. It's going to be great. I'm going to get 2 amazing opportunities. Something's going to come. It could be financially. It could be opportunity. It could be something that's going to come to me. It's going to be amazing. So here we go. And then what happens? I get in the car. I go around the corner. And I'm in traffic. And for the first couple of minutes, I'm listening to LBC. And I'm thinking to myself, we're good. We're good. It's going to be a good day today. It's going to be great. And the weather slightly changes. This actually happened. I'm not making this up. The weather slightly changes, and then rain on the windscreen. I thought, oh, it's going to be a nice day today, you know. Quickly check your app. Weather. Oh, it's going to rain till 2 o'clock. Great. That screws up my lunch. So I can't leave the office. I'm going to have to get an umbrella. Where's the umbrella? It's at home. And I'm halfway stuck in traffic now. Oh, that guy's just not moved again. Oh, come on, Matt. Please, just, oh, what's wrong? Why is he not going faster? Beep! Come on! For goodness sake! Kicked in. Negativity comes. Bang! Straight away. It's there. It's done. Negativity is in. Right? Everything that was positive from 6 a.m. in the morning has now gone. Within a millisecond because of 3 or 2 things that have happened to me in the car. I've now got to my office. I'm in a bit of a mood. Okay, got to my office. Still raining, so I'll run into the office. My key in the door. Open my office, and I'm in the office. Okay, and it's freezing. The office is freezing. Okay, now I've got to heat up the office. I've got to heat it up. Okay, because the radiators have been switched off. Now I'm getting more and more. Now I get on my computer. Computer won't start. Okay, everything's going wrong. Everything's going wrong. Everything. I have now officially forgotten how to be positive, because negativity's gone. Yes, sir. We're all here. We're all waiting at the back of your mind. And you've just given us everything we need. Now we're going to carry on being negative. Do you remember the umbrella you forgot at home? What are you going to do for lunch? Oh, by the way, your computer, it won't work for another probably 2 hours. Yeah. Do you remember what happened last time? Do you remember? Do you remember what happened last time? It's going to happen again. That's right. Oh, if I were you, I wouldn't bother getting a cup of tea right now, because, to be honest with you, you ran out of green tea the other day and you haven't bothered to go and get yourself one. And you shouldn't bother, because it's raining outside and you forgot your umbrella at home. You did. And you're going to get wet. You're going to get really upset. You're going to sit down. You're going to have wet, trousers, wet shirt. It's going to be a horrible day for you, Kev. Oh, and by the way, you know when you were thinking about being positive, and there's 2 wonderful opportunities. Your computer's not going to work for 2 hours, so you probably won't get that information. And then you'll probably have to go to lunch. And then if you go to lunch, you're probably going to have to jump in your car. And you're going to have to stop somewhere. And there's not going to be any parking. Listen, I'm just giving you an example, by the way. That's exactly what happens to anyone. That was one of the examples to me. And that's exactly what happens. Keeping fit. Life has challenges. Had a bathroom done this weekend. I envisaged it would be finished by today, and it was. And it looks awesome. You envisaged it, you thought about it, and it came true. That is great news. That is great news. But if you don't make it a habit to think of something positive every day for 10 minutes, you are losing out on making a change in your life. You really are. You genuinely are. Because if you don't think 10 minutes of positive thoughts, close your eyes. Breathe. Think something great. Think something great, and it will happen. It will happen. You've got to keep thinking about it. You've got to keep thinking about it. Okay? Because if you don't, you will lose out. So this week, Mental Health Awareness Week. I've touched upon quite a few subjects today, about your mind, about how you can focus your mind to create your future. And your future, by the way, is literally there. It's in front of you. You can make the change. You can make the change. It takes one step at a time. Okay? just take a scenario of a baby, a baby, a 2-year-old, 10-month-old going from a 10-month-old and standing up and wiggling and falling and wiggling and falling, and then standing up and walking a little bit, falling, standing up, walking. That's how it is. It's the same thing as what we're about to do without changing our mind. Okay, you've got to stand up and fall, but those stand-ups have to be 10 minutes. 10 minutes of positivity, and then maybe implement it again at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Put your telephone on, get it on, the alarm on. Okay, this is something else I do as well, by the way. I haven't done it for a while because I've been really, really busy, but it's something I do very regularly. I have 12 alarms on my phone, and each one goes off at certain times of the day and goes, "You're doing great, Kev. You're having a great day today. Well done for that. Well done for getting up this morning and thinking about positivity." Another one would be, "Today is going to be a great day." Another one would be, "I can't believe you did so well in your company." And it's just really positive affirmations constantly during the day. I haven't done it for a while, to be fair, but I do that regularly. At the moment, with everything that's going on in my life, with the busy life that I've got at the moment, it's difficult. But the problem is, for me, I had those issues several years ago. Now, by doing everything that I have done, and I'm telling you now, it's made a difference in my life. Total difference in my life. And that's what it is. It's positive affirmations. And that's why you can change your mind and your life. Doing loads of DIY. House still looks bloody awful. Well, Jim, sometimes we've got to be truthful to ourselves. Okay? We've got to be truthful to ourselves. We might be crap at actually being good at DIY. Okay? Be truthful to yourself. If you're crap at DIY, then don't kid yourself. Pay for someone to do it. Simple as that. Simple as that. Okay? Be truthful to yourself. That's being positive. I'm crap at DIY. Honey, can we get a builder in? Boom. Or, honey, can you do it? Save money. So, think about it. Positive affirmations create your future. Focus your mind and it works. Okay? Without it, you lose. And of course, the importance of laughing. And that's what I do for a living. Absolutely, Cherry. The importance of laughing. We've got to laugh. We've got to enjoy life every day. And you know what they say? If you laugh, if you laugh for 5 minutes a day, laugh about something really funny. But if you laugh for 5 minutes a day, it lengthens your life. It lengthens your life tenfold. Why wouldn't you do it then? Why wouldn't you do it? I do. I laugh. I laugh every day. I laughed so hard today. So hard today. Okay? Because I pictured something in my head. That didn't happen. But it could have happened. And I was literally in the midst of loading my dishwasher. And I just pretended that this scenario had happened. And I genuinely laughed out loud. And it gets to the point where I giggled that hard. It cracks me up. And I'll tell you what happened yesterday. My sons were watching, those stupid videos on YouTube where people it's like You've Been Framed. People have mistakes. You should watch them, by the way. There's tons of them on YouTube. It proper makes you laugh. Use that to laugh. And they were watching this cat. I've got to tell you, I'm laughing already because it was the funniest thing I'd seen. But both my sons, if I could have recorded and shown you right now how they were laughing, it was, and actually, if I can, I'll record it this week and I'll show you next week's show, if I can do it. But this cat was next to a swimming pool and it was just looking in, okay? And this man came up behind and just went, boo! Right? And the cat jumped up in the air and fell in the pool, right? I laughed, not at the video, I laughed at my twin 6-year-olds literally dripping, right, with tears of laughter at the video. And the gut laughter they were doing literally put me into a frenzy of laughter. We were there, all three of us. The video had stopped playing. We were there, all three of us, for 5, I think even 10 minutes, just creasing up laughing. And that's the kind of thing that you should do every day. Get on YouTube, type in anything about, people making mistakes or whatever, and just watch, accidents happening, comedy ones, of course, like the You've Been Framed ones. And I kid you not, some of them are that funny. it brings tears to your eyes. And that's what you need every day to make you laugh. Either that or a quick promotion, buy my DVD. So that was really poor, because actually, no, I'm not saying that at all. Shannon, but trying to find work, sad face, but staying positive. Before, I was sending applications to cross off jobs I knew I'd never get. Now each application is one new opportunity. Do you know what, Shannon? I honestly think, okay, never ever stop thinking what job you really want to get, because what you're doing is you're not focusing on one job, you're focusing on many jobs, and that's not going to give you the one job that you want. What is the job you want? What is the job you want to take and get? Once you get it, boom, focus on it. Okay, I want to be a primary school teacher. Okay, that's specific, and I want to teach at my local school. Second specific, and I want to be able to go from a primary school teacher to the headmistress of the teacher within 5 years. 3 goals. There you go. This is not goals. I want to do something with kids, perhaps. And it'd be nice to have a better position, I suppose, and good money. It'd be nice if it was local. It's never going to work. You've been amazing, guys. You've allowed me to speak to you for another 60 minutes on this motivational talk, Billionaire Talent. And people have been asking me, by the way, quickly to tell you, they say, why have you called it Billionaire Talent? It's because I believe every single one of us are born geniuses, and we have a billion different talents that we can tap into, and the world can benefit from us. So honestly, each and every one of you out there, you were born a genius. You were. It's a fact. However, a lot of you live your lives without ever tapping into it. That's really sad. And that's not one thing I'm going to be doing by the time I get to 103. I'm gonna lie in that bed saying my last words, and I'm gonna finish off by saying I achieved everything I wanted to, and I'm on my next mission. I'm on my next journey. That's the way I want to go. Happy, positive, and that's the way. And I want to share that with you. And again, next week at 8 p.m, join me for the Motivational Talk, Billionaire Talent. In the meantime, please join me again on Wednesday when I host Howling TV live. Oh, we've got a new Howling TV page, by the way. If you go to Facebook, just type in Howling TV. It will come up with our brand new page. I'll invite everyone anyway, and click onto that, because we're going to be streaming the new Howling TV shows from that page. So in the future, of course. So in the meantime, guys, take care of yourselves. Lockdown, hey, let's stay positive. Let's have a really nice time. The weather's going to be great. Let's do some barbecues. Take those. Breathe in that air. Be happy. Look after yourselves. And I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.